they don't, if, you know, because sometimes they'll block you altogether. So I want to see if I'm blocked altogether. So, well, yeah, I'm live, but that don't mean that sometimes the video won't play. Are you able to go and on your phone and see if I'm live or not? Okay, you guys, I'm gonna see if I can invite people in on this video. Just give me 1 second, because Facebook just blocked me on the other video. So I want to see if I'm able to go live on this one. So let me see, because I'm gonna try and invite some of you guys in. If I am not able to go live, then what I'll do is I'll go live from a different platform, which would be either, you see me? Okay, so all right, you guys, we are about to go live in a matter of a couple of minutes. Just give me a second. Let me know when you're ready. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. All right, you guys, I'm sorry. Facebook just blocked that other video that I just did, so I had to scrap that one. Welcome to Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action on this Motivational Monday. And I'm so excited that you have chosen to tune in today. We have an exciting show for you today, and the topic is, we're in this book series. It's a book anthology by Lady Joy, and it is titled Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy. And so we have an awesome guest who's going to share with you. She has an amazing journey, and I know how you guys love the stories. And so this show is actually being sponsored by Allstate with Paula Kelly, and she is located at 327 East Glenwood Lansing Road in Glenwood. And you can actually contact her by going to Facebook. It's Allstate Insurance Agent Paula Kelly. Make sure you like her page, or you can call her at 708-758-3300, and she is specializing in all of your insurance needs. So hello to everybody on Facebook. I apologize for the first video, but Facebook heard the music and they immediately sent me a message saying that the video was being blocked. So I had to restart the video. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you are tuning in, like, share the video. You know the routine. So I encourage you to stay connected with me on all forms of social media. Right now, we are live on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm also on Periscope as well. So you can follow me at Warriors Talk 1. You can email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com to stay up to date with everything Warriors Talk. Just go to warriorstalk.org. You can also follow me on YouTube as well. Just type in Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell for eyes on the community. You can also call into the show. We love to hear from you. We value your opinion. You can call in at 312-754-4333. Hello, Henry. Henry says hello to everybody. Now, this show is actually being dedicated to the peace in Chicago. There were so many shootings and killings this weekend that really directly affected me and hit home. So I just ask that you all just pray for peace in our city. Just pray that God will drop a solution in our spirit. I mean, so many people have so many different ideas, but nothing has seemed to curb the killings or the shootings that are taking place in Chicago. So I ask that you pray, not only pray for peace, but pray that God sends us a solution or sends us a generation that has an effective plan so that we can eliminate all of these shootings. Our healing scripture is coming from Philippians 4:8. And it reads, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. And right now, with all of the violence that stemmed from this weekend and just period in Chicago, we need to think on some good things. And not only that, but we need to implement some positive things in our community with our children so that we won't have to be burying our babies. In today's show, we're going to focus on finding divine joy. Through life, you're going to have ups, downs, but don't allow it to beat you down. Les Brown said, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So let the reason you get up be the reason that you look up. And so today, my special guest is Nora Harris, and I'm so excited. She's actually calling in. She's coming up off of a high this weekend because they had their book released on Saturday. Again, the title of the book anthology is Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy. And so Nora is actually a poet as well as an author. She is a domestic violence survivor. She is a phoenix warrior rising from the ashes to bless others with her journey. Hello, Nora.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Facebook, let me know if you can hear Nora clearly. If you can somebody just drop it in the comments if you can hear her clearly. Nora, first of all, congratulations on your amazing weekend.
Well, thank you so much.
So tell me, how was the book launch? How did everything go?
It was exciting. It was amazing. The powerful women that was on that stage. Shout out to Lady Joy for bringing it together. It was awesome. I don't know no other word to put it, but it was an awesome evening.
Wow. So I was excited for you because I know that feeling all too well. I just experienced it in April myself. And was that the first time that you got to meet all of the authors?
Yes, it was.
Wow. That was awesome. Thank you, Tanil. I appreciate that. Now, Nora, a lot of people, you are actually the third author to come on to talk about the book, but there are some people who are on listening right now that don't know. So can you just give them a brief synopsis of what Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy is actually about?
It's about a bunch of us women. We consider ourselves queens because we want our ladies to know that they're queens. And we're sharing powerful stories of our life journey. One of the ladies is a life coach, and she's teaching steps to overcome your trial to be triumphant. I speak on domestic violence. One of my chapters is dealing with domestic violence and how to know the signs and not make the person you with your guide, and to know you can't overcome it, because to me that's the hardest thing, one of the hardest things that we can deal with in life. My other chapter that I have, I'll start with it first. My mother was not my real mom, she was my stepmom. And because she didn't show me love, I didn't know how to love a daughter, because I have a 20-year-old daughter. And when the title is God's Sense of Humor, because I'm like, God, why did you give me a girl? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this baby? And he taught me how to love my daughter, because I never heard my mother say she loved me.
Oh, wow.
I was never hugged by my mother. Things we go through as women, little girls who want to be women. I didn't know all those things. I didn't get those things from her. And to be able, through God's help, to have this done with my daughter is amazing. It's like having your best friend. Watching her go from a little girl and becoming the best friend that you can have in the world is an amazing experience. So I shared that story because I was like, God, well, what if somebody else has felt like this? And we hear about young people getting hurt so much and the abuse and things. And if anybody is dealing with something like that, if you go to God and seek God, He can help you to love your children. He can help you to give them the things that you missed out on. And that was one of my stories that I did share. And again, the other one was about domestic violence. And I call that Hit by a Typhoon.
Wow.
Not only was I having to deal with this, I lost my mother 2 months prior to going into a domestic situation. And I watched this man that I was married to go from the sweetest person I knew to a monster.
Wow.
And I usually open up my story with, if you was in a burning house and the door is open, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in that house and burn up? Or are you going to go out that door and get help? It took me a while. It took me 8 years, as a matter of fact, to realize, stop burning and go out the house. Because if I hadn't, me nor my children would be here today to tell the story.
Wow. Now, I know these statistics say it takes a domestic violence survivor 7 times before they actually leave. And so it took you 8 years, but we don't know how many times within that 8 years that it actually took you to leave.
Well, I was actually went to a domestic violence shelter 3 times before I said, you know what, enough is enough. For not only my life, I don't think I even cared about my life at that time, but when it was going to affect my children, that was my wake-up call. Because at the time, they were 6 or 9 years old. And that was the wake-up call for me to get out because my children had to live.
Now, were they witnessing what was going on, or were you shielding it from them?
I shielded it for a while until it got out of control. It was so bad that we was at church, and my church family didn't know at the time. When we went to church, we had on the smile, and the motto was, and I tell this also in the story, what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, that's for Vegas. And we're told coming out, what goes on in the house stays in the house. Well, what was going on in my house almost killed me. Wow. I wasn't talking to my friends. I wasn't telling my church family what was going on. And nobody knew until he decided to jump on me at church in front of my children.
Wait, you say he jumped on you at church?
At church. Nobody saw it coming. Matter of fact, I didn't see it coming. He was like, well, it's time to go. Okay, baby, I'm on my way. And when I knew anything, I'm getting jerked around, I said it's time to go. And I got hit, and thank God for the deacon, because it would have got worse, but he got a great hit in on me.
Wow. Well, he was bold to put his hands on you at the church. It's one thing to be putting your hands on me at home and nobody knows about it. But now, he had the balls, really. And now people know, so now you don't have to hide it anymore. So that must have been a relief for you.
It was. It felt like a weight came off.
Oh my goodness. So what was your next move after that happened? What did you do? What was going through your mind?
Well, after that, I moved out. I finally swallowed my pride because a lot of it was pride. I didn't feel I needed to leave the neighborhood I was living in until he broke in. And I said, okay, God, you said it's time to go, so we're going. And matter of fact, I had to move 6 times in 1 year to get away from him.
Wow.
To really have a peace. And it didn't matter that I had a restraining order. No matter where I was, he seemed to find me. I found out he was getting leaked because who I thought was a friend of mine wasn't. And that's how he was finding me. So within 1 year, I'm up and rooted my family 6 times.
Okay, so the person that you were confiding in, and because you have to confide in somebody because you can't keep it all in because you're gonna drive yourself crazy. The stress can kill you. So you figuring I'm talking to somebody, I'm releasing it, I'm doing the safe thing, and then that person betrays you.
Yes.
So then, I mean, what does that do for your trust when it comes to people?
It took me a long time to trust. I still have hang-ups to this day a little bit with it. What I would recommend to people when stuff happens, with especially that kind of hurt, is you have to be prayerful. Ask God for discernment and knowing who you can trust, because you don't want to walk around not trusting anybody.
Right.
And if they can't share some things with you, don't share things with them. Because when something, any kind of thing, don't have to be just domestic violence, anything we're going through that hurts us to the core, or we may not always understand, you need that confidant.
Yes.
And I've learned over the years to know the difference between my confidant, my comrade, and my constituents.
There you go.
And I had during that time, a lot of constituents and comrades, and not a lot of confidants.
Mm. Which is really sad that, we can't even trust anybody when we need help. When something's so devastating like what you were going through, to tell somebody and you expect for them to help you to get out of that situation. Or not only that, but to keep your secrets because you didn't want to tell anybody else. So, I mean, but then that's one, you want somebody to keep your secrets, and then two, you, in a way, you don't if it's hurting you. But in your case, it was hurting you. Letting him know, allowing him to know where you were when you were thinking that you were safe. And that has got to be really the lowest thing in the world for that person to do. I don't even know. It would be hard for me to trust people again. It would be probably an act of God that would allow me to trust. So, wow. So women, if you are going through a domestic violence situation, I would say seek God when you are ready to open up and talk to somebody about your situation. Because you want to make sure that what you're going through is not falling on deaf ears and that that person really is genuine in seeing you survive. So Nora, how were you able to, because this had to be devastating, not just on you, but your kids as well, moving around and you know, going to different schools and just, you know, uprooting them, because children like to be stable. They like to be in a stable environment. So how do you think that this actually played on your children?
It affected them a little bit, but the one thing I didn't know until they got older, they would hear me pray a lot. And they learned how to pray. And so when I would go in and pray, not knowing that they were listening, they would join in. And it taught them to be strong. They always telling me how proud of them to see how strong a faith I had, how I kept trying, did my best to keep them from being hurt, and try to shelter them from as much as I could. And even today, it's like my son, he cannot stand to see nobody put their hands on a woman.
Wow.
My daughter will not allow nobody to put their hands on her. And I told her, I said, well, baby, I'm grateful for that. And she said, well, Mama, I watched you. She said, it was a lot of nights we heard you crying. It was a lot of nights we knew something was going on. We just didn't understand what was going on. And to see them today, the young lady and the young man that they are, and knowing that their faith is strong, and knowing what not to do. They even share my story with others that may be going through.
Exactly. Okay, I don't want to get too personal, but was this their biological father?
No, it was actually their stepfather.
Okay. Because I had a sister that actually went through a domestic violence situation, and she got to the point that she wanted to commit suicide because she was tired of going through it. And she kind of kept it hidden, but when her health started to fail, we kind of figured out something was going on. Something's not right, you know, and to everybody else, he would look like this perfect gentleman, you know, like he was just so caring. But then behind closed doors, he was beating the heck out of her. Not only beating the heck out of her, he was beating her, he was raping her, because anytime you say, no, I don't want to, is rape. So, she was able finally to get out of the situation, but just to hear the stories of what she went through was devastating. So the fact that you can call yourself a survivor is amazing. And to open up and share your story with other women, to let them know that, you know, even though they go through situations where somebody is trying to, you know, beat them down and take the life out of them, that they still can stand up, they still can look up, and they still can minister to other women who are going through. So break the silence, and I commend you on breaking the silence so that you can help others who, you know, are in the situation where you are.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to do. That's my main goal, is to be that voice, because every time I turn on the news, I had a friend of my classmate, one of my best friends, lost her cousin about maybe 3 weeks ago to domestic violence. And it needs to stop. My thing to men is, we were put on this earth to be queen, and they were put on this earth to be king, and we were to rule together, not beat on each other, not tear each other down. And I think men have lost respect for us. We've lost respect for ourselves. And my prayer is that we can get back to that place where God had first intended us to be at, because he didn't put us here to be beat on. He didn't put us here to be beaten down to the point that we are. And we're not even setting examples for our children, because even teenagers are getting beat and getting killed. And I'm like, God, this has got to stop. And that's how I came up with being a domestic survivor, because everybody said, well, you're a domestic violence victim. I said, no, the victims are no longer here to speak.
Yes. Wow.
I said, because I still have my voice. I can still tell people what happened. So I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. And for anybody who's listening that may have gone through it, may know somebody else, remind them when they come out of this situation that they're not a victim, they're victims, because the victims are laying in the grave. They can't tell their stories. They can't tell you the sleepless nights or the pain, the things they lost and behind it. So that's why my prayer every day is, God, let me share my story. Let me be the voice for someone that wants to get out and don't know how, or too afraid to know, hey, you can get out. I tell anybody, you have to be careful, because you have to know the person you're dealing with. Call the police. You know, there's a lot of negativity in behind them, but they will help you. Not all policemen are bad. You call, they're coming. I tell them to come up with passwords. Give something for the family to know. It could be something as simple as, I feel like Kool-Aid today. The family member should know. When I hear her say, and even with men, because I know some men get abused as well.
Right.
If I hear someone say, well, I feel like Kool-Aid, okay, she's in trouble. He's in trouble, because that's the code word.
Wow.
And get them help. If you see them pulling away, what was funny for me a little bit to it, I had all these friends, and nobody saw me hurting. Nobody had any idea what was going on. I went from being the life of the party type personality to I was withdrawn. If I went to the grocery store, if he allowed me to go with them anywhere, he would call me, and I could have been gone from the house 3 minutes.
Wow.
And he's calling, where y'all at? How long it's going to take you? Have you got to the store yet?
Wow.
What are you getting when you get in the store? Don't be gone long past this. If you're not back here in 30 minutes, you know what's going to happen.
Wow.
And they never picked up on any of it. I had this perfect smile. Well, can we kind of hurry up? I need to, I want to get back home at a certain time. They had no clue what was going on with me. And that hurt me more than the abuse itself, was why nobody recognized what I was going through. You didn't see the bruises. You just woke up naturally with a black eye. I had makeup on real heavy. And I even say to the churches, pay attention. Pick up on discernment. When we coming up for prayer, we're not just coming up to be coming up.
Yes.
There could be somebody coming up because they're hurting and they're praying that the man or woman of God is picking up in their spirit what's going on behind closed doors.
Yes.
Because like you said, behind closed doors is almost a death sentence. And sometimes it ends up being a death sentence.
Wow. I totally agree with you. We do need to be more in tune with the people that are in our lives. We do. We don't fault them for not picking up on it, but it's heartbreaking, because it's like you basically looking at them and you're crying out, and they see you every day and you're like, this is not the normal me, and nobody picks up on it. That's a hurting feeling. It really is. We're so busy doing everything but doing nothing, that the person next to us could be sitting there laughing, having a good time, go home, and then you get a call that that person died. What happened? Oh, well, she was in a domestic violence situation. They're like, what? We didn't know. Well, remember she broke her arm and she said she fell and hurt herself. Remember she had that black eye, and then stuff started to come back to people like, oh, right. But nobody investigated further. Well, Nora, you are a strong woman. You are a strong woman, because to be in that situation day after day, week after week, and then to have your babies there with you, to be afraid that, he may do something to the babies. I don't know. It's just like you're dying every day in that situation. And then you have to go out and put on this show. so people will think that you're okay. But thank God that you are out of that situation and that you are alive, you are well, and that you can share your journey with others. And so what we're going to do,
Amen.
yes, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing. I said amen because I thank God every day. Every day.
Every day. Every day. What we're going to do is we're going to praise God with you on today, Nora. We're going to listen to Tasha Cobbs, Put a Praise on It. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is an amazing story. So Nora Harris, if you are just tuning in or you tuned in the middle, Nora Harris is a part of the book anthology Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy, who is presented the book by Lady Joy. And so she has 8 authors that are part of this book. And Nora is sharing her story of how she was a victim of domestic violence. Right now, she is no longer a victim. She is a survivor. And she is sharing her story with us on how she was in that situation. And then she shared some alarming information, like nobody saw or even had a clue of what was going on. That to me is just really scary because you would think people around you know you very well and they would pick up on stuff. And we know that sometimes when you're in that domestic violence situation, you know, you put on that act and you say, oh, I find okay, and people don't like to pry. People, you know, they tend to mind their own business because, you know, a lot of times when you're in that domestic violence situation, if sometimes when they call the police, the woman or somebody jumps in, the woman sometimes will defend the man. So some people be like, well, I ain't getting in that because she ain't gonna do nothing but defend him. That's her life. Don't exactly, Chanel. Some people would turn a blind eye. Don't turn a blind eye. If that person get mad at you because you said something, let them get mad at you. At least you get to see them the next day. Let them get mad at you, but at least you brought the subject up. You approached them with it. So if something happened, your conscience would be clear. We need to start paying attention to each other. Sometimes we sit in church and we sitting right next to somebody that's hurting. Somebody could be contemplating suicide. Somebody could be at home getting beat. Just somebody just going through. Somebody might have gotten a devastating diagnosis. We sit next to people in church and we just be minding our own business. Sometimes we don't even hug the person next to in church when we get up. We don't even shake their hand. We be so busy in our own world. We get up and we leave out of there and we have not even fellowship. We haven't even found out anything about the person sitting next to us or about the people in the church. We don't have time to fellowship. And that's what church is really about. It's about fellowship. It's about fellowshipping with the person next to you so that you may get them some words of encouragement. You may not know what they're going through. And sometimes people don't want to tell you. But sometimes, like she said, if you sitting there and you ask God for the spirit of discernment, so while you're sitting there, you can feel it and you can pray for that very thing. Because sometimes we need to know exactly what to pray for. We need to know exactly what it is. And if you don't want to tell the person sitting next to you, when you go up for prayer, you get on that altar, you whisper in that pastor's ear and you say, this is what I'm going through. Now, we're not expecting him to say, Nora is going through domestic violence situation, you guys. We need to get her out of that house and over the congregation. We would hope that the pastor had wisdom and not do that. But I would encourage you, if you're going through a domestic violence situation, tell somebody. And Nora, tell somebody. Tell everybody. Tell somebody, tell everybody. And I know sometimes they don't like to tell because they're not ready to leave. And they may feel like people look at them because they may go back, you know, but they have to get out in their own timing. Nora said it took her 8 years to get out of it. 8 years. And according to statistics, it takes the victim, the domestic violence victim, 7 times before they actually leave. Her 7 times was over an 8-year span. That's a long time to be suffering. That's a long time for somebody to be putting their hands on you, for somebody to be talking to you verbally, making you feel like crap. That's a long time. And for her or any other domestic violence survivor to come out of that, I commend you. Nothing but the grace of God. Nothing but the grace of God. Nobody, man or woman, should be putting their hands on anybody. Anybody. Lady Joy said, you never know. Hold on, I just missed it. I'm sorry. You never know what a person's going. You never know. Stop being so self-absorbed in what you're going through. You know, sometimes you hear somebody else's story, you're like, ooh, I ain't going through nothing. After you hear their story, reach out to people. Angela Elaine say a simple hi or a hug make the difference. That may get them to open up. It may get them to say, you know what, this is what I'm going through. I need help. They may slip you a note. But if somebody, let me say this, because Nora mentioned something that broke my heart. Because she said she was talking to somebody when she got out. That very person was telling her husband her every move. What kind of devil? Don't do that. Don't do that to nobody. If somebody is telling you they just got out of a domestic violence situation, they are trusting you and telling you exactly what they're going through and what they're going to do, you have no right, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you go and tell that very person that's beating on them, you are wrong, and you have God to answer. You have God to answer to for that. You are wrong. I don't care if you're a family member. I don't care. You're wrong. You're protecting him and you're helping him. And you are wrong. You are wrong. Okay, y'all. I didn't know it was going to go this way. I'm sorry. Okay. We should be back off break. I appreciate you guys. If you're just tuning in, like and share the video. Tonil, you are right. It could have cost her life and her kid's life. So how dare you? How dare you? What did you get out of telling him every time she moved somewhere? What? Working for the enemy. And it's so wrong, Angela Lane. You are so right. It's so wrong. God so help you if you get in a situation to where you need somebody to help you and they're not there for you. All right. We're getting ready to come back off our break so we can get back into this Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy with Nora Harris. Nora is a poet. She is an author, and she is a domestic violence survivor, and she is here to share her journey with us so that if you are in this situation or you know somebody that's in this situation, ask them, encourage them, urge them to speak up and speak out. And we know that their life is on the line. And we know that it's a dangerous situation. Don't open your mouth and tell where they have gone or what they're doing. Don't do that. Are we ready? Okay, we're getting ready to come back, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me every Monday at 7 p.m. We're getting ready to come back as soon as I get the word from my engineer. Are we ready? He's on cloud now. So thank you guys for tuning in. You can get this book. All you have to do, again, is Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy, presented by Lady Joy. And you can go to www.totbook.online to get your copy of the book. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, Lady Joy says, domestic violence is anything that happens in the home of a negative spirit, molestation, sexual abuse, rape, verbal abuse, physical abuse, neglect of a child. It is all domestic violence. Ooh-wee. You just summed that up. Spirit molestation, sexual abuse, rape. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all caught that. Okay, we're getting ready to come back. I'm ready. That was profound. And we are back. This is Lady ReShell of Warriors Talk here. And we are talking to author, poet, domestic violence survivor, Nora Harris. Nora, are you with us? Hello. Okay, thank you, Lady Joy, for putting up the link to get your book. Again, www.totbook.online. We are talking to Nora Harris. She is part of this book anthology presented by Lady Joy. And the title of the book is Triumphovertrials, Journeys to Divine Joy. Nora, oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say, because I just scratched all of my notes that I had, because you just took the show a totally different way. And I like that you talked about having this code word that an individual can use if they're in a domestic violence situation and they need help. And then this is something that we need to be discussing with our families. This is something that we need to be telling them so that they know what that code word is. So if I'm having issues and I mention this code word to you, then you know what action to take. And I think that would help a lot of people to remove that mask of domestic violence and to break the silence.
Exactly.
So what would you say, Nora, to someone who is in a domestic violence situation right now and they want to get out? What would be your advice?
Get to safety. By all means, take care of them. But get out. Don't stay. If you have to wait till you know for a fact that person is asleep, if you have to wait until they go to work, whatever you have to do to get to safety, I encourage you, I beg you, do that.
But they may be in a financial situation to where they can't take care of themselves, so I mean, what are they supposed to do if he is the breadwinner and I don't have any income coming in that's going to be able to sustain me and my babies if I leave?
I completely understand that. The best thing I would say is, again, find someone that you can really confide in, that you know that beyond a shadow of a doubt they're not going to betray your trust. And anybody that's listening, if someone comes to you and they tell you they're in a domestic situation, do not betray their trust. That's the worst thing you could do to a person. Whoever you can find to confide in, they will help you. I had to learn that. I had to swallow my pride in some areas. When you find that true person, you tell them exactly what's going on. You come up with a plan to get out. They get you. Whoever comes to get this person that's in a domestic situation, when you come in a car and get them, do not cut that car off. Leave that car running. Let them come outside. Don't grab everything. Just get you enough to get out the house.
Wow.
Get your children. If it's just you know how to handle yourself. The children are involved in it. Get your children, yourself, something. I call it like a Walmart bag. If you got a little Walmart bag, throw you a little something in there. You get out that house, y'all get in that car, and y'all get gone. You go straight to the police department, because that way you know there's somebody there that's got weapons that's going to be able to help you, that's going to keep you safe. Don't worry about packing up a whole lot of stuff. If they'll get you in a shelter, they will provide everything that you need. So don't worry about, I got to have this. Make sure you have your Social Security card, your important stuff, by all means. But don't worry about, I need clothes, I need deodorant, I'm going to need this. They will make sure, because they rather see you safe, they rather see you and your kids safe than you worry about the material things that can be replaced. You can't replace your life.
Wow. That's some valuable information. That really is. The important papers, the Social Security card, the IDs, the birth certificates, have that and reach to where you can grab that stuff and go, so you won't have a hard time trying to replace that stuff. Wow, you are really helping someone today, Nora. Tell me this, going through your trials, the domestic violence situation, going through the situation even with your mom, not feeling loved, not having that connection with your mom, how has all of that, all the trials that you went through, helped shape who Nora Harris is today?
First time anybody's asking me that. Appreciate that. I'll start with my mom. And it's not putting flowers on me. This is what I've heard from my children. This is what I've heard from people who was on the outside looking in that I had no idea was watching me. And I even heard you said it earlier, and I thank you, and to God be the glory. It made me a strong woman. My children tell me all the time, Mom, you are strong. You teaching us how to be strong. I would chalk it all up to my faith. And I know a lot of people always say, well, why are you always saying your faith? because even as a child, God was with me. I didn't understand who He was because I was, a kid. You learning, but it was always something within me. No matter how harsh things come at me, it only would keep me down for a moment. And one thing, as I got like in my teenage years, I used to tell myself after coming from church one Sunday, I said, "Well, the pastor just said God created us." I said, "So it doesn't matter who my mother and father is. God created me, not them."
Right.
And that's how I started overcoming everything she would say to me. So every negative I got, I started placing it with a positive.
Yes.
And I have an aunt that's on my dad's side who made me feel like she was my mom because I could go to her, I could confide in her, and that's where I believe I got more of my strength from. And though I've never heard my mom say that she loved me, I tell my children every day, even from the time they were born to now, they always hear, "I love you." And I tell myself, when you have children, always let your child know that they're loved. People, we hear the times of hearing sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. Words do hurt.
Yes, they do.
It's those words that you don't hear that hurts the most because you're watching everybody else being loved on by their mom, and you're trying to figure out, well, what did I do to not deserve this type of love? So always tell your children you love them. Always hug them. Always embrace them because even at a young age, you're forming them for who they're going to be in the future. And as far as the domestic part side of it, that was nothing but God. I take no credit in that whatsoever. He's the reason why I survived it. He's the reason why I'm still here. So I take no credit in that. All I will say is I'm grateful for having a voice because I told them on Saturday, I know it's hearing me. I'm the shyest person you want to meet. I used to not talk. I wouldn't tell nobody anything but God. And for whatever reason, He chose this season for me. I'm grateful. I'm honored and always humble. But that was the thing. I got tired of seeing my sisters hurt. And like I said, I take nothing away. I know there are men out there get abused, and they just don't say anything because they're embarrassed or whatever the reason.
Right.
But my heart goes out to our sisters, to our queens, because it's just going on too much. Every day or every other day, I'm hearing somebody's done lost their life. And I was like, God, you helped me to survive.
Yes.
I gotta be a voice. It's gotta stop. I might can't stop everything, but I know if we start coming together, and that's why I love what Lady Joy did with us with this collaboration from Trials to Triumph.
Yes.
A group of women from different walks of life, different backgrounds, coming together saying, you're not alone. They have a different story in the book to tell, and it's to help somebody else to know. The main thing out the book, I hope everybody gets, you're not alone.
Yes. There
are voices out here that's willing to help. We don't want to keep seeing people hiding in silence, hurting in silence, and feeling like, who cares? Does anybody care? This world needs to see compassion again. It needs to see love again. And genuine love. Not me saying, I love you, and I put no action behind it, because love is an action word.
Yes.
Compassion needs to come back to where it's like, how can I help you today? How are you feeling today? Well, we're calling and we're checking up on one another. And I think that's how we missing something. We really all this technology we have, it's too convenient for us. I remember writing letters and love getting letters in the mailbox from people I haven't heard from in a while. We don't even pick up a phone now and talk verbally. We're texting.
Yep.
Or we're messaging.
Yep.
But we don't have that personal contact anymore. And I believe that's how we're missing some things, because we don't have that personal connection to where we're going to lunch. I'm just calling to see how you're doing. I'm stopping by to see how you're doing today. We need to get back to that where we're building that bond and we knowing each other well enough to know when something is. I need to be able to know, okay, like ReShell not seeming like herself today. Let me see what's going on. Are you okay today?
Yes.
Anything I can do for you today?
Absolutely.
Just knowing somebody cares can make a world of difference.
And if you're texting them, how are you going to know, how are you going to hear in their voice that something is wrong? You can't see their face. You can't hear their voice. And they could just be, it may not even be them texting you back to say I'm okay. So
Exactly.
Yes. So I totally agree with you. We are missing out on compassion. And I believe that's why we have so much violence in Chicago right now, is because people don't have a heart. People don't care about their own lives. So they're taking other people's lives. So that personal connection gets lost. But I like what you say. People, you are not alone. You are not alone. Nora made it out, and so can you. I like what you said, Nora. You said it's the words that you don't hear that can hurt. So people, we have to make sure that we watching what we say and we watching what we don't say. The people on Facebook are really talking. Lady Joy said we need to keep our youth informed. We do. We need to keep them informed so they know what's going on. We try to shield them from a lot, but we really hurting them when we try to shield them from a lot. They need to know what's going on so they can know how to help us as well. And also when they get in situations like that, they'll know what to do. Henry said there's a safe home you can go to, and you shouldn't tell people where you have gone. When you go to that domestic violence shelter, you should not be blasting to everybody where you are at, because you never know if you're going to have somebody that's going to tell that person. Lady Joy says, that's right, Queen Nora. You can replace things, but you cannot replace your life. Hey, Paul. Paul says it's been a while. It has been a while. Your daughter, Brianna, she says, you better say it, Mom. I like that. She's cheering her mom on. Angela Gilliam says, my childhood friend has been deceased for 28 years because of domestic violence. She left behind one child that an ex-boyfriend also tried to kill. Oh my goodness. Nora.
Yeah.
You have blessed the people with your journey. This is going to be, I can't wait to get my copy of the book, because this is going to be an amazing book from eight authors telling a story about you are not alone. You are not alone. And once you read these stories, you'll know why. Angela Gillian said, words are powerful in a positive way and in a negative way. We have to watch what we say. And so, in case you guys didn't know, I mentioned that Nora is a poet. And I would like for her to share one of her poems with us. Bless us with a poem that we can take with us and incorporate it throughout our day.
Yeah, I would love to. Matter of fact, this I wrote for my best friend who lost her cousin, like I was saying earlier, to domestic violence. And I entitled it, Hiding in Silence. Were my cries too silent that you didn't hear me screaming? Was my whispers too soft when I was telling you everything that needed to be heard? When you tried to hug me, you didn't notice I pulled away and looked to see if you noticed I was afraid. Did I wear my makeup so well that you didn't see the swollen eyes? Or you thought I really walked into a revolving door? I understood you didn't see the bruises hidden under my clothes. But my swollen lip, oh, I guess you thought I had Botox injection. You believe as upbeat and outgoing as I am, always the life of the party personality, is now all of a sudden skipping big family functions, not wanting to do girls' night out, really? I've gone from being to work on time and perfect attendance to being late and running out of excuses to why I can't be on time. And yet, you still didn't see. I couldn't look you in the eyes and how much pain I'm in and can barely stand. I sat in church praying, asking God to let someone discern my spirit, how broken and torn it was. But nobody never did. All they noticed, I was in the prayer line every Sunday, that I needed to build my faith stronger. Now I have taken my last breath, and all the questions are being asked. Why didn't she say something? Why didn't she get out? How could this happen? If I was here to speak, as many others that have lost their lives to domestic violence, I hid in silence, hoping that you knew me well enough to notice I was changing. I was believing that my hiding in silence would reveal something was going on. The perfect picture of how happy I was would have shed light that I was not at its disappeared. Now, I ask, don't let others suffer in silence. Volunteer, get educated on the warning signs and red flags. We didn't make it. Please help others that are going through to survive.
Wow, that was amazing. Can you tell us, Nora, how can we keep in contact with you? I know you have a new book coming out called Wounded but Dangerous. Tell the listeners how they can follow you.
On Facebook is Nora Poeticvibe Harris. On Instagram is author Nora Poeticvibe Harris. If you want to email me, it's noraharris740@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nora. We appreciate you and your journey. Congratulations again on the new release and the release coming up. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Warriors, in life, remember the storm doesn't always come to kill you. Sometimes the storm comes to clear your path so you can walk into your God-ordained destiny. So warriors, remember to keep thriving while surviving.